Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So today we're back on our 2019 Toyota Highlander, and we're going to do a transmission service. We're going to drain it, we're going to fill it. This service costs $300 to $400 at the Toyota dealer. Really doesn't take really that much to do, and we'll show you how to do that next. Okay, so to perform this service, there are a number of tools that you need. A lot of those are not specialty tools at all, and I'll leave a link in the description for each one of the ones that I've used so you can actually get some for yourself. You'll see them down here. We actually have our automatic transmission fluid. A lot of folks say, get the Toyota. I prefer to use this particular brand. There's also another assortments of different ratchets, a couple of picks and screwdrivers. I've got a torque wrench adapter that you see right there. I'm also using our infrared temperature sensor. That way we can make sure that we know exactly what the temperature is whenever we measure the transmission fluid. Since it doesn't have a dipstick, it has to be a certain temperature in order to make sure that it is to the correct level of fill. So what we've done is we've actually taken the front left wheel off, and that's going to allow us to access where we need to access in order to get to the fill bolt. Always take the fill bolt off first. If you can get that off, then you proceed and remove the drain bolt, and we'll show you how to do that. All right, let's get moving. Okay, so as you can see, directly below the transmission is the drain plug. The front of the car is this way. That way is the back of the car. This took a pretty good crack in order to open it, so I did it off camera, and that's just because it has not been opened in 60,000 miles. So I've got my drain pan, and we're going to go ahead and unscrew this and let it drain. There'll be a little bit that comes out. Here it comes. Let that drain a little bit. Now comes the messy part. Inside is a plastic tube that determines the level of the transmission fluid. So we need to go in there with our wrench, and I'll have the size description listed in the description below, and turn that, and the majority of the oil will come out then. So we'll just wait till that slows up a little bit, and then we'll be prepared to get messy. There we go. That's good. Reach up in there. There's 6mm hex right into the center. Fits right in. It's not tight at all. I'll just twist that.
Still more to come. It's coming. Very messy, as you can see. And that just, you keep turning it and it will come right out. There we go. And we'll let that drain. And then we'll reassemble it. We'll put a new washer on and we'll hand tighten it, because what we want to do is we want to bring it up to operating temperature. Now, before we finish here, we need to go up to the transmission cooler that we exposed whenever we took the shroud off, and we need to put a pin in that in order to hold it open, so that way the rest of that fluid comes out. Our transmission's back here. There's the transmission cooler that we need to put a pin in order to make sure that the line gets completely emptied. So what I've done is I've gotten a very, very small Allen key. There's a hole you can see right there, and this fits perfect. So I'm going to use 90-degree pick, push that in, and then I'm going to slide this pin in to hold it. Okay, so I think it looks like we've gotten all of the transmission fluid out that we're going to get. This is only about a third of the fluid that's within the entire system. So we need to put this tube back in, and as you can see, it literally is just a tube. And that, of course, whenever it has more transmission fluid in it than it needs when it's level, it will then drain out. So we need to put this back in. Remember, it's hand tight, so we use our number 6 Allen wrench. Just put that back in. It's just finger tight. Okay, finger tight it is. We put a new crush washer on our drain bolt. We'll put that in there. We won't tighten it. We'll just go down a little bit snug, because whenever we have it up to operating temperature, we're going to loosen this, drain out the excess, and it'll be at the right level. There's that. Done. All right. What I have here is an infrared heat gun. I'm going to shine it on this section of the transmission, the metal. And I want to make sure that it is to the right temperature whenever I loosen that drain bolt. It should be about 100 degrees, between 100 and 115. Of course, with the transfer of the metal, it's going to be a little bit cooler on the outside, so I'm going to try to shoot for 95 degrees. The reason why, the transmission fluid expands, that should put us right about the right level. Let's do a quick reading right now. 64. So let's go add the transmission fluid. We'll cycle through the gears, and then we'll replace the wheel. We'll check the temperature, and if we're up to temperature, we'll come down here and adjust the level, tighten everything down to 36 foot-pounds. We'll wrap it up. Got the other end of the pump here into the 1-gallon transmission fluid. I'm just continuing to pump it into the transmission. We'll reinstall the fill plug and a new crush washer, torque it down to 36. Then we'll start the car, cycle it through the gears, let it heat up, and then we'll adjust the level. That's it. Okay, let's start the car. Don't forget to remove the Allen wrench from the valve that goes over to the transmission cooler if you have that equipped on your vehicle up here. So I just pulled the Allen wrench out. Let's start the car and warm up the transmission. Okay, we're going to cycle through all the gears. All right, let's check the temperature. There we go, 95. We're going to go ahead and remove this drain bolt and let it drain until it's just down to a trickle. And all that is excess. Remember, we have about a quart extra in there. There we go. That's what we're looking for. All right, we'll tighten the 36 foot-pounds. We'll put the shroud on, tighten the wheel lug nuts down, and then we'll road test the vehicle. And just like that, we're done. So off camera, we went ahead and installed the wheel, tightened the lug nuts to spec. We put the underbody panel back on, fastened all those fasteners on the Highlander. There's probably about 10 of those that we had to do. We checked for leaks, made sure everything was okay, road tested the vehicle. Everything is good. Thanks a lot for watching. See you again soon.